We need support for MAPs. Minors attracted people need support too. Sometimes they need support. And I for one, I'll be the first one to say I support pedophiles. Bonjour, hi, welcome back to another episode of Matthew's Always Wrong. Last episode, if you've watched that, the After Hours, After Dark Matthew, he got a little rowdy. But today we're back to some real news. We're back to protecting Canadian values, and we're back to protecting the Canadian taxpayer, especially with our first story today, which is about how Justin Trudeau, as usual, mismanages Canadian finances and is just wasting your money. Justin Trudeau introduced a net zero accelerator fund and then got funding with billions and billions of dollars of taxpayer money. And what is this fund? Well, the goal of this fund is to quote, support large-scale investments to ensure that Canada remains competitive in the net zero economy and also reduces greenhouse gas emissions. So it's this giant slush fund of billions and billions of dollars of public taxpayer money that then gets sent out to private companies in order to make them more green. That's what we've been sold. And they sell it as if it's such a good thing that look, we need to invest in the green economy. We want to stay competitive, right? We don't want to let America or any other company beat us out for the green economy. So why don't we use our money? Why don't we use our oil revenue and the money the government collects from your taxes and give it to private companies so that we can fix climate change? Doesn't that sound great? Doesn't that sound so fun? Don't you feel so good when you hear that? Because when I look at my money leaving my bank account through taxes, you know what I love to see? That the government's using it very wisely and is giving it to big corporations, because here's the thing. Here's what they don't want to tell you. Big corporations actually manage our money better than you. I can't manage my money. My money's better spent giving it to a large corporation so that they can actually invest in the economy and give their owners multi-million-dollar pay packages. That's what I support. I don't like having my own money. I don't like having autonomy. No, what I love, give my money to these people. They know what they're doing. They're better at it than me. So why not give it to these large corporations? And especially, so this net zero accelerator fund has $8 billion in it that they've given out so far. All right. And you would assume that, they track when they give out this money, when they do all this spending, that they track where the money goes to these companies and what do the companies do with this money, right? And you'd assume that the net zero accelerator fund would have requirements for reducing emissions, right? If you get money from this slush fund, you'd assume as a taxpayer who's literally funding this, they're just printing money, but anyways, you'd assume that the companies receiving this would have at least some obligation to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, because if that's your biggest enemy, then you'd think that maybe they throw us a bone, say, yeah, at least we'll reduce our emissions. But I guess that was too much to ask. I don't know, maybe I'm just too needy. Maybe I'm a taxpayer that's too needy. Right? I'm not the taxpayer they want. They don't want me. What they want is more middle-class families paying more and more taxes. Because in order to remain competitive on the global economy, we need to raise taxes. That's a fact. But yeah, just 12 out of the 17 companies, they weren't able to name the companies in this investigation, but 12 out of the 17 companies that got money from the $8 billion fund. So you'd assume hundreds of millions of dollars, a lot of money from public spending goes to private enterprises. 12 out of 17 of them did not have any commitments to reduce emissions. 70% of them had no commitments or made no public commitments. They got the money and they go, are you going to reduce emissions? Meh. No, I don't feel like it. $8 billion was spent and 70% of the companies made no commitments to reduce emissions. look, I already don't like this. I already don't like the fact that we're spending $8 billion on this. But let's say you do care about the environment. Let's say you care about how carbon's affecting the environment in some way because you've been lied to the media, which I get, fair enough. And at least you can make an argument going, well, at least the money is being spent properly, right? No, you can't even make that argument. You can't even make the liberal or left-wing argument where, look, we have to spend this money to fix the climate. Yeah, but you're just spending this money and you're not even fixing the climate. So what's the point? Why are we spending $8 billion on this? You have a $40 billion deficit and we're just spending $8 billion and 70% of them, there's no reduction in emissions? Huh? And then people will say, well, that's just fake news. This literally comes from the Canada Environment Commissioner, who got some conservative MP, interviewed him and started grilling him on this issue. Because they're like, well, where's all this money going? Why are these companies not having to make these commitments? If you get $100 million from the Net Zero Accelerator Fund, maybe you should probably cut your emissions. Why else would you be getting this money? Well, I get it now because the government, Justin Trudeau, he's got a lot of friends in the industry. And it just happens that he gives some of his biggest supporters a lot of money. We don't know this, but, we kind of know where this is headed. We kind of know what's going on. We're not that stupid anymore. The media can say a lot what they want to say, but at least they're reporting on this. Not really, though, but I was able to find it, thanks to X. But yeah, so, you had this conservative MP grilling the Canada Environment Commissioner, this guy Jerry DeMarco, and he's like, I can tell you 12 out of the 17 didn't have any commitments to reduce emissions. Well, that's fun. At least the money's being spent properly. At least the guys who are getting this money, the companies, at least they can go on nice vacations. It'll all be chill, Sometimes big CEOs need bigger pay packages. It's true. It's like Elon Musk, no, he has too much money. That $56 billion pay package, that needed to be voided just because, he created $500 billion in shareholder value. So you'd assume he should get some payout. But no, he doesn't deserve it. The companies, like the CBC, the executives at the CBC who have been beautifully managing the CBC, they deserve new pay package increases. They need millions of more dollars, especially when it's funded by the taxpayer. Let's go. How much shareholder value are they providing for the taxpayer? Don't ask. No more asking where that money is going. Stop asking. Justin Trudeau's job is hard enough. Stop asking where the money's going. My next story is just a few. I've got a few other stories before I get to the main one. I'm a little late on it, by the way, but this next story is about Germany. Oh, Germany! You know how things are going in Germany? Oh, you just decriminalized possession of child pornography. All right, Germany. Let's hear the rationale behind that. So, lawmakers in Germany just recently voted in the House to reduce possession of child porn from a felony to a misdemeanor. Oh, great. Why are you doing that? Why are you why are you legalizing this basically? Why is this a priority? There's a lot of other things going on in Germany that I don't think this is a priority. Well, here's the reason. Minors shouldn't be charged jail time for having these types of images. Which, okay, fair enough. Yeah, minor to minor. I guess that is an argument to be made. And they're going, well, look, if you look at who's getting jailed, there's a large proportion of juvenile offenders. Which I already don't think is true, but, sure, let's go off of that. So, you're saying, well, look, you have all these teens, they're sending these images, they're sending these videos, and then when they get caught, they go to prison for a long time, they have a felony charge. Which I guess I can see the argument, okay, sure. But wouldn't that just mean that you change the law to make it a misdemeanor for 2 minors? But they're like, no. We're making it a misdemeanor for everybody. Everybody gets this. They're keeping in place a 1-year minimum sentence, but it massively reduces like sentences in the long term because it's just a misdemeanor. It's no longer a felony. So at least they're helping the minors attracted people, MAPs. MAPs need more support from the community because they're being ostracized and they're looked down upon in society. When people say, I'm a minors attracted person, they can't control that, They can't control. Pedophilia is being too stigmatized in society. We need to let these people reign free. These people have their rights. They're just like gay people. They're just like you and me. Minors attracted people need more rights, and I shout out, I gotta say, good thing, Germany. Good job, Germany. This is what society needed. But I love the fact that where's the rationale? Okay, sure, but make it for 2 minors then, and then make that a misdemeanor. Why does everybody need to be a misdemeanor? How is this helping anybody? You want to talk about how the sexual industry is exploiting people, and then you bring in the fact that it's children involved, and then you make it a misdemeanor? Do you not think that'll increase demand, which will just then increase the exploitation of people? It'll increase sexual human trafficking. It'll increase attacks and groomings on minors. Do you not think those things will happen? Oh, no. It's okay. It's okay. I support minors attracted people. They should have their own rights. Where's the minors attracted people flag? And where are the shirts? Why is nobody supporting these people? These people need support too. It's hard going through life and going near a school and getting an erection. It's hard sometimes. Just like they are. They're hard all the time whenever they go near daycares. And why shouldn't they be allowed, right? Why shouldn't they be allowed to publicly, touch themselves in front of a preschool? If child pee online is chill, why can't real life pee be chill? Do you not see the problem that these left-wing ideologies have? This is, they're trying to be compassionate to all the minors in prison right now, all the youths in juvenile detention. But let's just slip in, everybody can be chill. We need everybody to come together as a community. You have those you have all those sex offender communities in like Florida and stuff where it's just sex offenders. Why not make everywhere that? Why not bring that here? We have a lot of minors and we have a lot of people who are attracted to minors, so why not legalize it? This is truly insane. When I saw this, I couldn't believe it. I don't understand where this is coming from. The fact that you basically legalize child pornography there's no moral stance you can make on this. You can go, well, look, we can't stop kids from sending pictures to each other, so we have to stop jailing everybody. Yeah, but no. Maybe we should bring back, as a society, some taboos. Things you don't really talk about. Maybe stop talking about how you're attracted to minors. That would be a good start. I think a healthy society requires some sort of moral societal rules that people kind of have to follow. People can't just be going out there and going, I need more rights as a minors attracted person. I don't think a healthy society needs that. In Germany, they're not doing too well. The economy's stagnant. There's a lot of issues in Germany that this isn't a priority. And I can't wait until they bring this legislation here because, I think Justin Trudeau will look at it. He'll go, this sounds pretty good. I have no idea what Justin Trudeau will do. I pray to God that this doesn't come here because this is horrendous and literally affects and just allows for more exploitation to happen. What, you don't think grooming and 45-year-old grown men texting 16-year-olds will increase after you make it not a felony? Do you not think that'll happen in your idealistic society? Do you not think that more pedophiles will be prevalent when it's almost legalized? It's like decriminalizing drugs. You decriminalize child P and you decriminalize drug, what happens? More people are going to do both. So who's it really helping? Who's it helping? You know, Germany had this whole beef with those types of Canadian companies, not the child ones, just the normal P ones. You know, they had this whole beef saying that if they don't start proving that they're 18 plus, but now they just basically legalized it. So why even have any regulations at all? Why even have to say if you're 18? Why don't they just lower the age of consent to 12 at that point? Let's just bring that back. Let's just have 40-year-old men marrying 10-year-olds. Why not? Why not? Because, you know, sometimes children go to prison when they try to marry an adult. Right? There's no stance. It's all fictional. These people are crazy. And you see one of the candidates for the German one of the German left-wing parties. I don't know if it's the one in charge. But this guy was licking public toilets and smearing feces all over himself. That's search it up. It's weird. It's really weird, these people. And then you know who they're prosecuting? The far right extremists. The ones that say, hey, maybe we need stronger immigration controls. Maybe we need a lot of these economic reforms. We need smaller government. We need to criminalize criminals. And then they're going, well, you can't say that about the immigrant populations. You can't ask about why this certain race commits proportionally 90 times more crime than the rest of the population. We're going to fine you and you're going to prison. You know, they're getting fined because right-wing extremism is a much bigger issue than child pedophilia, it appears. It appears that having Christians who want a strong family and want to protect their kids are actually the devils. Oh, I get it now. They're the devils. Okay, it makes sense now. I'm a minors attracted person, and the Christian family values, those are devilish, right? I have these urges. I was born this way. Okay, I was born attracted to 10-year-olds. And if you don't affirm my sexuality, my sexual orientation, you're actually just a bigot. You know, I'm part of when is LGBTQ2+A coming to MAPs? We need support for MAPs. Minors attracted people need support too. Sometimes they need support. And I for one, I'll be the first one to say I support pedophiles. But then you want to say you support pedophiles, but then all of a sudden Diddy's the bad guy? All of a sudden Harvey Weinstein's bad? Guys, come on. We're better than this. We're better than all these social taboos and these stigmas against people who like children. Sometimes Michael Jackson just wanted to be in the same room at night, going to bed without the parents of this 11-year-old. Sometimes he just wanted, because when he grew up, he wasn't a child, you know, he got abused. He wasn't a child, he never had a childhood. So he's just reliving his childhood by fondling little kids in his multi-million-dollar mansion with the parents approving. Oh. Do you not see the problem? Do people not start to see the issues with all these things? You can't legalize child P. It's not something you do. You can't do that. You can't do that in a functioning society. You know? And then what are they gonna do? They're gonna legalize rape for minors? What? Why not legalize rape for minors? You're gonna legalize legalize rape for minors. Take the stance. People, let's go. Make the stance. I hope somebody clips me. Clip me right now. That's what I want. But yeah, this is truly an abomination, and the lawmakers need to be held accountable. This is disgusting. Truly, this is probably one of the dumbest laws ever. What would you want? Fiscal irresponsibility? Legalized child pornography? Oh, you get both. How about that? How about you get both? It's not one or the other. It's both. Let's go. So yeah, that's what's going on in Germany right now. I don't know what happened. These people used to kill the gays. Now, whatever. British Columbia asked the federal government to make drugs illegal again. I'm a little late on this story. That's what I meant. But yeah, basically, I'll just give a little recap of what's been going on in British Columbia. Imagine if California was in Canada. That's British Columbia. It's the exact same thing. Basically, a little less bad. It's the exact same thing. I don't know what it is with these West Coast provinces and states where it's just the worst places ever now. What happened? Oh, because left-wing policies. Oh, I get it. Oh, left-wing policies work, right? Yeah, California's doing real good. But in January 31st, 2023, British Columbia gets an exemption from the Controlled Drug and Substances Act of the federal government to decriminalize drugs in the province, up to 2.5 grams of drugs for personal use if you're above 18 years old. Because they see the statistics, they go, a lot of minorities are going to prison. A lot of people, they're going to prison. Drug use is very high. So we should create safe supplies. Instead of, criminalizing these people and marginalizing these people for using drugs recreationally, we should give them safe supply of drugs, meaning taxpayer-funded drugs to these people. Because we don't want them to die from AIDS and stuff. Instead, we want them to die from overdoses because that would ultimately happen. How is it safe supply of fentanyl? How does that work? When you go, well, look, we need to give them clean needles so that they don't die of all these diseases. They don't die of hepatitis. Yeah, but you're just extending their life. Let's say they would have died of hepatitis today. If you just keep letting them not only do drugs, but give them free drugs, they'll end up dying anyways in 3 months because as your tolerance builds off of heroin, you'll need to do more and more and more, and then you overdose and you die. All these things are just taxpayer-funded death sentences. We have medically assisted suicide and we have safe supply. Those are basically the same thing. At least one's more fun. So yeah, they asked to make it decriminalized. And the rationale was really odd. It was like, well, look, we have to, we have to help these people because a lot of people are dying from fentanyl and stuff. Which, okay, but yeah, maybe stop letting the drugs come in. Maybe helping people get off the drugs instead of giving them taxpayer-funded drugs. Maybe that. The purpose of the decriminalization exemption is to reduce the stigma associated with substance use and support the people to access important health and social services. Okay. So they decriminalized it in January 2023. And what happened? Well, they go, here's all the stats that they're touting, all these great things that are happening. It takes time to understand the full impacts of decriminalization, and several evaluations and monitoring services are underway. Findings to date have identified the following key results. Here are the key results, guys. In the first 9-month period after decriminalization was implemented, the number of possession offenses decreased by 77%, and the number of seizures below 2.5 grams decreased by 96% compared to the previous 4-year average. Let's just think about this for a second. They're going, the number of possession offenses decreased by 96%. Does that have anything to do with the fact that what are they charging you with? If you decriminalize it, of course the number of charges against the offenses will go down. What? That's like saying, yeah, we decriminalize speeding on the roads. So tickets tickets for speeding have gone down 99%. Yeah, because you're not doing it's like saying that, takes an example where, say CPI, for example, where they're like, well, look, or not CPI, let's just say crime statistics. Well, look, if we stop reporting all thefts below $500, and then they go, guys, crime is down. Well, no, you're just not representing any of the facts. You're just not saying the real numbers. So by saying that possession offenses decreases by 77% and seizures decrease by 96%, yeah, it's because it's decriminalized. Of course that's going to happen. What? All right, let's keep going. North and southern regions of BC saw the biggest decreases in rate of possession charges. Yeah, because it's Okay. There is no systematically collected evidence about whether public substance use, including use in hospitals, increases or decreases after the implementation of decriminalization. Remember that. We'll get back to that, okay? Use of healthcare resources, including opioid agonist treatments, medication for opioid use disorder, overdose prevention sites, and drug checking remained stable in the 10 months, while the number of take-home naloxone kits shipped to participating sites increased. Oh, wow. This is literally the worst results you could have. What results are they showing? They're showing if you reduce if you say you're not going to get charged anymore, they're touting that less people are getting charged. Yeah, obviously less people are going to get charged. What? What are these people thinking? And then they go, there is no systematically collected evidence about whether public substance use, including use in hospitals, have increased or decreased since the implementation of criminalization. Guess what just happened a few weeks ago? Now they're asking the federal government, to make it illegal again. So now British Columbia is recriminalizing drug use in certain places. What places? Public spaces, inside hospitals, on transit and parks. Oh, but you said there was no... Oh, so when you let people do drugs anywhere and you give them free drugs and you tell the police you can't stop these people from doing drugs anywhere they want, all the time, always, oh, now people are shooting up heroin and smoking fentanyl on the bus, on the train, on the parks, near hospitals, near schools. There are needles. There are many reports of needles, heroin needles, fentanyl needles, whatever it is, on schoolyards where kids are playing, where they have to come in every week, sweep out all the needles so that kids don't step on the needles. Oh, interesting. Wow, this is working. So now they're recriminalizing it in public spaces in all these places. They're asking the federal government to change laws to allow police to enforce this. Oh, so your entire plan didn't work. I get it. Oh, but now less people are going to be dying from drugs, right? And less people are going to get marginalized, right? Okay, let's look at the numbers. 2023 was the top year for drug overdose deaths. Oh, that makes sense, because more people are doing hard drugs and you're letting them do it, and then you're giving them taxpayer-funded apartments so that they can do the drugs in them, and then they die. Oh, I get it. 2,551 people died in 2023, known deaths from overdoses, compared to 2,385 in 2022. It is now the leading cause of death in British Columbia. Where do these left-wing lawmakers come up with these ideas? I don't understand. Where do they come up with the idea going, well, a lot of people are going to prison because they're addicted to drugs, so we should help their addiction. What? If you have an alcoholic, would you not tell them to seek help? You wouldn't just give them free more alcohol, right? Right? Unless you're in California, unless you're in San Francisco, who's now using $5 million of public money to give free alcohol to homeless people with alcoholism. Who keeps voting in these leftards? It doesn't make sense. Who's voting this in? Yeah, guys, I got this. Guys, I got this great idea. Let me tell you about this idea I got. So you know how we have a lot of homeless people who are addicted to alcohol, right? What if we gave them free alcohol? And then they go, yeah, that's what we should do. Yeah, you're so good. Give him a Nobel Prize. Yeah, guys, if we give them more alcohol, then this will be good for society because we're being nice. Yeah, let's go. This is crazy. This is crazy, people. This is as crazy, maybe a little less crazy than what they're doing in Germany. Yeah, because all the homeless people, they're all getting drunk and they can't afford the Bud Light ever since they went trans. And they're going, well, what if we gave them Coors Light and we paid for it? What if we just gave them vodka and paid for it? When can I get the government to fund me to drink on this podcast? Because I think that's what needs to happen. If you're gonna I'm not in a public space. I'm gonna go to British Columbia. We're gonna get a studio in British Columbia, and I'm gonna shoot up heroin as I do this podcast, and then everyone's gonna clap and they're gonna go give this man an award. That's just what's gonna happen. Why doesn't Justin Trudeau start shooting fentanyl? That's just my question. Why don't they do it? If the Premier of British Columbia is so, he's so nice, he's so compassionate to these people. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think they've ever gone. Do they not see the tents of people doing crack on the streets? Do people not see the tents, the homeless, the people who are getting attacked, the fact that your tourism industry is massively declining because nobody wants to go to your garbage city where tents are everywhere? Where people are looking like zombies because they got the fentanyl going. When you're nodding off, when you go to McDonald's and the employees are nodding off mid-order, does that sound like something that's good? Is that a good thing? Hey, I don't know. But yes, it is a big issue that a lot of these people do have mental issues. A lot of these people are schizophrenic. They have a lot of mental disorders, PTSD. And yeah, they resort to drug use and alcohol use in order to suppress that, those mental illnesses. I'm saying that we do need a lot more mental health services for these people. And again, not the fake mental health, not the anxiety. People aren't doing fentanyl because they're anxious. But we do need more services to address these people. And just throwing money at this issue won't work. California spent like $40 billion on homelessness. And it just keeps going up. It just keeps going up. But also, you need to look at the government policies that are allowing these things to happen. When you let drug users get free drugs from the government, more people will use drugs. When you give them welfare checks and you go, well, you're not looking for a job, it's okay. Yeah, we know you're just doing drugs in a tent in the metro. It's okay. We'll just keep giving you money. A lot of these homeless people are homeless because they want to be. They would rather be in a tent, be on the ground, get a little pocket change from whoever's walking by, shoot up drugs, and then collect checks from the government because the government's 100% funding this. A lot of these people make a significant amount of money from government welfare, and then what do they spend the money on? Yeah, drugs and alcohol. That's why me personally, whenever I see a homeless person, I only give them cigarettes. Because at least nicotine is a nootropic, and that'll help them get focused. Start giving out Zins to homeless people. I think that's, instead of change, just give them Zins. At least maybe then they'll start focusing and realizing maybe I should get to work. But a lot of homelessness is funded by the government. It's a choice. It's a choice in a lot of cases because the government just gives you just enough money to get by on your drugs to buy some food. And then you get nice people on the street who also give you money and food. So you're just getting by and you're perfectly fine. Yeah, housing is an issue. That's because we have too many migrants. All these things work together. Cut immigration, housing goes down. Cut welfare spending, homelessness will go down because you have a decrease in housing prices. These people won't have any welfare, so they'll have to get jobs, they'll start working, they'll have to get clean. No employee's gonna hire you if you're nodding off at the job. You'd assume that, right? You'd assume that. Oh, but it's a lot bigger issue than that. If you cut welfare, what are people going to do? I'm not saying cutting welfare. Let's say you lose your job because the company went under or whatever it may be. You lose your job. Yeah, collect unemployment because you pay into unemployment. When you're employed, you have to pay employment insurance. Then, if you happen to go unemployed, then the system provides you with money to get through that rough patch as you search for other jobs. But you have to prove you're looking for other jobs. You have to prove that you're actively you're actively searching for new employment opportunities. But these homeless, they're just getting money. They're not only just getting money, but in a lot of these places where they decriminalize it, they're getting free drugs. Why is the government giving out cocaine? You don't think there are literal pictures where it's just Government of Canada, cocaine, and it's just cocaine. And then the funniest thing, they're giving out plastic straws to do the cocaine in so that you're not doing like a dirty dollar bill or whatever. But they're giving out plastic straws for you to snort cocaine in. Oh, I thought plastic straws were bad for us, right? But, if it's for cocaine use, it's okay. Because apparently you can't use paper straws for snorting coke. That's the real issue. If they would just invent a paper straw that cocaine addicts could use to snort, I think that would really increase the popularity and a lot more people would be on board with it. Ignore the forever chemicals. Ignore the fact that they disintegrate. If you can snort cocaine with it, that's a massive boost to the industry. Guys, get on this. Hire me as a consultant. I can fix you. Give me $100,000 to speak at a conference. And that's not a political donation. Just do it. Just give me money. Just give me money. Give me more money. I want to snort cocaine with the paper straws. I'm with the turtles. I'm woke. I'm with the turtles. But yeah, so that's what happens when you got these massively leftist policies. Oh, yeah, let's let people smoke crack on the streets. They won't smoke crack on the streets, right? Justin Trudeau, can you make it illegal again for people to stop smoking crack on the street? Yeah, it took you more than a year to figure that one out? They just have these homeless encampments where there's just hundreds and hundreds of tents just grouped together. And they got these stoves burning, these gas burning stoves. The whole thing burns down and then all the buildings around them burn down and everyone dies. You're cooking your ramen or whatever you're cooking. You shoot some heroin, you're cooking, and then you drop the thing, and then your fire canister falls over, and your tent burns up, and everyone else dies. Guys, this is a great idea. Let the drug addicts do drugs, and let's pay for them. Let's pay for these drug addicts. Yes! The hardworking farmer doesn't need money. You know who needs money? The homeless crack addict. Yes! Do they get a job? I don't understand. Are they all on cocaine? Is that what's happening? Are they just trying to protect their ass? I don't get it. These policies don't make sense. They don't work. We've seen it time and time again. We've seen it in Oregon. We've seen it in Washington State. We've seen it in California. It doesn't work. These policies don't work. You can't just enable addicts. You can't just let addicts do more addict stuff because they'll continue to be addicts. It's a self-destructive cycle. And then guess what happens? They die because they overdose. They can't stop themselves. They have no self-control. So what's worse, my question is, British Columbia making drugs legal or Germany making child porn legal? Oh, okay. Well, I think the Germany one, but, why don't they just start paying people in Germany to watch child pornography? If we can pay people to do drugs here, why not just pay them? Because, look, a lot of the pedophiles are victims too. Pedophiles are victims too. So might as well just pay the unemployed. Let the pedophiles be unemployed. Just pay them through welfare so that they can all day long, all they do is just watch child pornography. I think that's where we're headed. That's where we're going as a society. But yeah, all these situations are just outrageous. And my final story is a pretty big deviation from it, and it's really something that I laughed at when I heard about this. This came out like 2 days ago. So everybody knows the conspiracy theory about they're putting fluoride in the water and it's making you dumber, it's ruining your IQ points. Yeah, they've been right for a long time, and the media loves to dismiss them. Oh, but your teeth are better. Okay. This new study of over 220 pregnant mothers found that an increase of 0.68 ppm parts per million of fluoride concentration in the water, you know what it led to? Double the chance of the child showing neurological problems, including emotional reactivity, anxiety, and this adds to a bunch of other studies that have been done showing that you have lower IQ in early childhood and it harms neurodevelopment. But this is just a conspiracy theory. The government wouldn't put anything in the water that's toxic. So they're saying an increase of 0.68 parts per million. Okay, 0.68 ppm. You know what the average part per million in America and Canada is? Oh, 0.7 part per million. In Canada, the max concentration level you can have, the maximum where they go, all right, it starts not being safe anymore, is 1.5 part per million. But the optimal level is 0.7. This shows no neurological harm. 0.6% increase doubles the chances of your child showing neurological problems. So they're going, well, maybe as a pregnant person, don't drink water with fluoride in it. And by the way, it's pregnant people. Okay, it's not pregnant mothers. It's not women, because men can get pregnant too. You piece of shit. What, you don't support men getting pregnant? What are you talking about? Men have pussies too. Men have pussies too. They can have birth. They can birth a child out of them. Men are women too. But yeah, don't you just love to see that all these conspiracy theories that everybody says were fake and made up and have no scientific evidence? Oh, well, that's just crackpot science. That's not real. The COVID vaccine was very safe. I got my 8th booster today. A lot of these conspiracy theories that the media loves to dismiss so quickly, turned out a lot of them are true all the time, always. It's very interesting how every conspiracy theory seems to become true. It was true about the chemtrails. It was true about the government being able to change the weather. Cloud seeding's real. It's true about fluoride. The fluoride's there. We love to meme about the fluorides there, about how you drink fluoride and then you become a mindless zombie. Oh, there are studies showing that there are neurological impacts of increased fluoride. Oh, I thought that was just a conspiracy. I thought that was just a kooky conspiracy theory. Alex Jones doesn't know what he's talking about. And then they go, yeah, there's no chemicals turning the frogs gay. Which he was also right about that, by the way. Atrazine made the frogs all transgender. Search it up. Search it up. It's real. This is real too. This is not even, I didn't even have to, I only did one Google search, first thing that pops up. And they go, well, maybe we should start doing more studies about how fluoride affects us. Yeah, maybe. So as usual, the media lies, and then the government gaslights you, the government spends your money, the government hates you, and the taxpayers need to begin revolting. And this is what seems to happen at the end of every episode, where I keep reminding everybody that, sometimes we need to become a little bit more radical. And I'm not saying radical in terms of decriminalizing all drugs or decriminalizing child pornography possession or giving out money for net zero, even though there's no commitment to actually go net zero. I'm saying we need to radically cut government spending, cut immigration, bring back communities, and bring back strong family values in Canada. Bring back strong Christian values in Canada is what we need. For the longest time, our prime ministers were Catholic, Protestant. Yeah, Justin Trudeau's religious. Okay, he does not. He goes, I read the Bible every night. I don't think Justin Trudeau reads the Bible every night, I'll be honest. He just recently said that saying that for all of mankind isn't inclusive enough. What? Who are you people? You can't even have Boy Scouts in America anymore. Now it's just Scouting America. Can't even have Boy Scouts anymore. So you look at all these left-wing policies, and they're all left-wing policies. And yes, a lot of the right is complicit in a lot of these things, because you know what they love? You know what the government loves and all these people? You know what they love? They love power and they love money. It's just a coincidence that all these politicians are somehow multimillionaires. Where did Nancy Pelosi make $250 million from? She's just the greatest trader of all time? She's just a better trader than Warren Buffett? Okay, I believe it. But sometimes the population needs to become a little bit more radicalized in terms of bringing back what we think needs to happen, and not what we think needs to happen. What does need to happen? Our society is crumbling. We're being invaded by ideological poisons. We're being invaded by people who don't believe in Canadian supremacy. We're being invaded by corporations. We're being invaded on all fronts, and I've been saying this, and this is why we need to get the message out. We need more people to not only start caring, but to start fighting for what they believe in. Start fighting for a free, independent, sovereign Canada that has its own economy, that has its own values, that has its own history. We can't erase John A. Macdonald forever. We can't just take down all of his statues because he was somehow a racist. He was somehow complicit. He was so bad. He made the residential schools. Yeah, he made free school and free housing for a lot of disenfranchised Indigenous people in order to help them integrate. Yeah, that was so bad of him. Oh, but he was a massive racist. Okay, what? Okay. I don't care. You know what? Everybody was a racist. All right? When people are going to look back 100 years from now, they're going to think, these people were crazy. These people were disgusting. People in the future are going to look back at us. What? They decriminalized? Who are these people? They made child pornography decriminalized? Yeah, these people were the height of moral supremacy. These people who were godless, who were nihilistic, who had the only purpose in life was to make money and to be happy all the time. Yeah, these people were definitely the most enlightened versions of humans. Sometimes we need to go a little bit more radical. We need to bring back Christian nations. We need to bring back a strong Canadian nation. Anyways, again, as usual, I could always be wrong. I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I'm not even Canadian. I'm actually a migrant. I'm actually a homeless migrant. And San Francisco is actually sponsoring this episode by sending me actually $1 million of that $5 million. They're just sending me alcohol. I just have alcohol shipments coming in every day. And the people at Canada Post are going, yo, this guy fucks. This guy's ballin'. Damn, they're looking through my package through the customs. They're going, damn, this guy's partying. Fuck yeah. So this is just an invitation to all the Canadian Border Agency people. Come over to my house. We'll have a rager with all the alcohol that they're sending me from San Francisco. But as usual, maybe I'm just wrong and I don't know what I'm talking about. But thank you as always for listening, and we'll catch you next time.